Before we start today's episode where we talk about the ideas presented by Neville Goddard in the book At Your Command, released in 1939, it is necessary to clarify and pin into our consciousness a few aspects that, when correctly and truly understood, will clarify all aspects present throughout Neville's entire work, like a red thread connecting all his books and lectures. As Neville himself confessed at the beginning of this book, it contains the very essence of the principle of expression, which refers to the idea that we can bring our desires and imaginations into physical reality through the power of our consciousness and beliefs. From here, all of Neville's teachings emerged, and now we all know that the world around us is a reflection of our inner states, that what we are assuming becomes facts, that the key is to feel the reality of the wish fulfilled, that our attention directs our lives, and that we should live as though it has already been fulfilled, both in thought and in action, that we can change the course of an event by revising it in the evening, and last but not the least, to practice detachment, trusting in the natural process of manifestation without anxiety or desperate effort. The Bible, as presented by Goddard, is a psychological drama that takes place in the mind of each of us, where each character represents a state of our consciousness. God is not an external deity to us, but is our pure consciousness. The divine and creative force exists in each of us through our imagination. Through our ability to imagine and believe, can manifest whatever we desire. When we understand all these, we will understand the essence of God, who is the I Am from within us. That is the consciousness of pure existence. Our imagination ascends to the consciousness of our pure existence, resulting in our self-concept. That means that whatever we imagine about ourselves through our divine existence will become our self-concept. Jesus is our imagination taken to its maximum potential, which is, in fact, the power of God within us, or our higher state of consciousness. From this state of higher consciousness, if we resonate with our desires, the ones with which we identify, we will bring them into manifestation. We only manifest the state of consciousness with which we identify. We cannot heal from a problem until we resonate with its solution. A thing, an attribute, or a quality can only come to life if we are conscious of it. If we are aware of the problem will come. If we are aware of the solution to the problem will disappear. Everything begins and ends at the level of consciousness. In conclusion, to manifest our desires, we must align with the I Am consciousness. This alignment needs a transformative reassessment of our core beliefs or assumptions that are foundational in shaping our emotions, thoughts, and overall perception of reality. Thank you to all of those who follow our channel. For those who are interested in the works of Neville Goddard and wish to understand the concepts he left for humanity, you can subscribe to our channel, where we will periodically publish both his lectures with the original voice and interpretations of each concept, so we can more deeply understand all aspects taught by Neville. Now let's begin to explain the book At Your Command. If you have questions or need further clarification about the concepts presented in this video, write in the comments so that all those interested can read them. Enjoy your viewing. At Your Command isn't just a book, it's a manual on how to harness the power we all have inside of us to shape our world. Whatever we decide can and will happen if we believe it deeply enough. The entire book is a deep dive into how our consciousness drives our manifestations, especially on the idea of I Am, which Neville sees as the key to unlocking our creative power. We have always been able to manifest in physical reality everything we have imagined, from things to great love, to the desired house or dream job, to the skyscraper in New York, or the Taj Mahal Palace in Agra, just to list some of what we can achieve, all through the simple command given to the infinite and divine power that exists in each of us, our consciousness. Every person on earth, whether consciously or not, shapes their reality at every moment of their existence. Nothing appears in our physical world if it has not first appeared in our thoughts, in our consciousness. To transform our thoughts into reality, we need to appeal to our consciousness impregnated with our desires of which we are aware and with which we intrinsically identify. Goddard emphasizes that the only affirmation that we must repeat until its total assimilation into our beliefs and senses, is I am. This being the way through which we connect directly with God, the consciousness of pure existence. We should not repeat other affirmations because, often bringing other ideas, different from the concept of I am, into our consciousness can interfere with the awareness of our desires and might hinder the manifestation process. Our consciousness brings into our reality whatever we command it, and also in our consciousness, the Bible's stories are unfolding as a psychological drama. God created everything, and without Him, nothing exists. From this, it follows that God is the man's consciousness. Moses discovered that God is the consciousness of pure existence when he declared, I am has sent me to you. David, in Psalms with the verse, Be still and know I am God, reminds us to stop fighting our consciousness and understand that this is God who is in control. Starting from the direct statements in the Bible, I am the way, Neville shows us that God, I am, the consciousness of pure existence, is the gate through which our desires are manifested in the physical world. Through our consciousness, we can fulfill all the desires of which we are aware. This means, and I cannot emphasize enough, that we are constantly manifesting the things, deeds, people, and actions of which we are conscious as existing. Therefore, by being careful about what we filter through our consciousness, we will be freed from all our fears. And according to Neville, we perpetually manifest what we desire through the consciousness and the identity we assume, being aware of it. Consciousness is the Father, and the identity we assume is the Son. To succeed in materializing everything we desire, we must elevate our consciousness to that plane where we are aware of pure existence, just as Jesus knew that God, that is I am, pure consciousness, is within Him. Being aware of the fact that we are pure consciousness, we will be able to overcome any previous limitations, completely changing our conceptions about ourselves, becoming naturally one with the thing we desire. In other words, if we raise our consciousness to a level where all the desired things naturally become manifestation, we will attract towards us in the physical world the manifestation of our desires. If we are not satisfied with what we manifest in our lives, all we need to do to change the situation is to move our attention from the undesired situation and elevate our consciousness until we identify with what we want to manifest. As Jesus said, we must die in the current undesired situation and be reborn in the new desired one. You must be born again. Neville teaches us that our conviction of being in a certain way determines our manifestation in life. He gives us the example of Jesus' question to Peter, Who do you say I am? Which he equates with, Who do you claim you are? And the answer is, I am, the God within you. Prayer is a recognition, a conviction that we have already received the thing desired, in the first person, in the present moment. In other words, we must become one with the nature of the thing requested for manifesting it. It is actually about the pure and unshakable confidence we have that we will receive what we have wished for, that will attract the long-awaited manifestation. Before we pray and become one with the nature of the thing desired, we must forgive and transform any resentment we have against anyone. Before entering the state of meditation and praying, it is mandatory to release from guilt all those who have wronged us, and in this way, we will avoid manifesting hate and resentment in our reality. Neville teaches us that the external act of praying without an internal transformation is useless. When we pray, we do not have to beg or ask from a position of lack, but to affirm and assume the state desired. When we pray for riches having the consciousness of poverty, we reinforce our state of lack rather than transform it. In fact, the true power of prayer lies in changing our state of being. The act of going within in secret and shutting the door means to block the image with which we identify at this moment, generally of lack, and replace it with the image we aspire to. The moment we become one with the new state, we will begin to attract people, things, situations that confirm the new assumed state. To finalize the prayer process, we do not have to worry or wonder which path the answer will come to us because no one knows this path. Consciousness is the gate through which desired things are manifested, as long as we identify with them and are aware of this identification. To formulate prayers from the state of consciousness, Neville Goddard describes, we must shift from the position of lack to the state of already having received. Instead of pleading or begging for an outcome, affirm and live in the state as if the desired outcome is already a reality. For instance, rather than praying, "Please give me wealth," we should affirm, "I am grateful for the abundance and wealth flowing into my life now." This approach transforms the prayer from a request into a declaration. The key is to embody the feeling and conviction of the desired state, not just in words, but as a lived reality. Being grateful for the fulfilled desire and saying, perhaps, "Thank you for the harmonious, loving relationships enriching my life," instead of asking to find love. This method aligns our consciousness with the desired result, activating the principle that like attracts like. Another important aspect emphasized by Goddard is to keep our desires secret from other people, preventing them from casting doubt on our aspirations. Secrecy is the first law that must be respected for the fulfillment of our desires. The second law is to expand our self-consciousness until the identification with the desired object becomes natural, to truly become one with the image in our consciousness. This represents the moment of manifestation, all in the present time. By understanding the manifestation at the present time, we become aware of the I am. So, if we desire a state of perfect health before we perceive it in the material world, we must feel healthy. At the moment we truly feel I am healthy, the manifestation of the desire to be healthy will occur. The only way we can change the manifestations in our current life is by changing our state of consciousness, because through it we perceive and identify with everything that surrounds us. Our exterior world is our consciousness outpictured, and the only way we can change our world is by changing our inner world. We project into our exterior world the states in which we exist in our consciousness. Based on this information, we can start to change our self-concept. We must stop seeing ourselves as powerless. We need to understand that others will perceive us as we perceive ourselves. So it is very important in the manifestation process to change the self-concept in such a manner that we will able to confidently step into new territories that will bring us the long-desired wish. We are one with our current conception of ourselves, and we are greater than the things with which we currently identify. Returning to the idea that the Bible is not a story of true events, but states of mind that identify with our higher consciousness, Goddard makes the process of creation or manifestation very easy to understand. As described in the Gospel of John, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God." These verses indicate the beginning of creation, that is, the present time, moment by moment, and the Word is every desire that each of us expresses, and which cannot manifest in the real world except when we become conscious of it through holy union between desire and consciousness. Practically, this is the moment of creative union when consciousness becomes one with the desire, giving it the form of the desired thing. Goddard teaches us that the only obstacles in the way of manifesting the life we desire are the limitations that we or society have induced upon us. But by surpassing them, by changing them into a superior self-concept, we will be able to rise to a new level of consciousness where we are one with our desire. For this purpose, Neville insists that the only affirmation we must repeat over and over again until the moment it becomes fully present in our consciousness is I am. Declaring I am until we become one with the consciousness of pure existence, we will expand our consciousness to an absolute level, giving form to our desire, practically feeling that we are one with our desire. From this state, we will realize that all things are possible with the help of God. That is pure consciousness. To live in a new world, the world of our desires, we must change our state of consciousness because consciousness is what creates our reality, the later being our consciousness projected outward. As long as we maintain our old state of consciousness, nothing in our reality will change, but only when we manage to change at the level of consciousness, we will be able to perceive the much desired changes around us. In Goddard's perspective, tithing is not about the literal act of giving money to a church or religious institution, but it is seen as a symbolic act of dedicating a portion of our consciousness or awareness to the pure existence referred to as I am. This act of giving is not directed outwardly but inwardly, focusing on the qualities or states of being that we wish to manifest. When we claim certain attributes for ourselves, wealth, love, and wisdom, we are essentially tithing these qualities to our concept of God or our higher consciousness. This process is based on the principle that what we focus on or claim for ourselves in consciousness is what we will manifest in our reality. The true nature of tithing is offering these qualities to God. These beliefs about ourselves are the words of the Lord within us, being pure spirit, and the Spirit gives form to the content. People every second of their existence invoke an infinity of attributes they are conscious of manifesting. The concept, I am the vine and you are the branches, metaphorically illustrates a profound truth about our consciousness and its connection to the qualities we embody. Consciousness, the vine, serves as the source of our existence, feeding and sustaining the qualities or states of being, our branches, with its vital essence. Just as a vine nurtures its branches, our consciousness sustains our personal attributes, thoughts, and emotions, making them manifest in our lives. This relationship shows the importance of where we direct our attention, as it is the nourishment that keeps our chosen qualities alive. Neville shows that our best approach towards problems we might face is to shift our focus away from the problem and think of the solution, trying to immerse ourselves in positive feelings by aligning our consciousness with these desired states. This way of acting has its roots in the most taught principle in Neville's work, that our reality is shaped by where we place our conscious attention. Problems persist and grow when fed with our focus and energy, but they begin to dissolve when we stop sustaining them. By choosing to identify with and feel the reality of our desired state of being, we change profoundly our consciousness. This shift reflects the teaching that we are not merely passive observers of our lives, but active participants in shaping our reality through the power of our consciousness and faith. Our reality and experiences are direct reflections of our inner state of consciousness, and in the process of manifesting desires and transcending limitations, our awareness and faith are the most important factors of change. Life, in its essence, is neutral and responds impartially to the nature of our consciousness. What we affirm about ourselves, whether of abundance or lack, strength or weakness, is mirrored back to us by life, and the judgment of worthiness is just a human construct, from that perspective being irrelevant to the fulfillment of our desires. Our desires themselves are seen as divine requests, urging us to embody and realize them without judgment or self-condemnation. Fishing in deep waters is a metaphor for venturing beyond our current limitations to realize our desires. It suggests a shift from a focus on external efforts to an internal alignment with our aspirations through the affirmation of being. Similarly, the story of Daniel in the lion's den is used to illustrate the power of focusing away from problems and towards the realization of desires, reinforcing the principle that attention and belief shape our experiences. This story encourages us to keep a firm belief in what we can't see and to trust that our dreams will come true, letting go of worrying about the results. It encourages us to treat our wishes as sacred promises and to nurture a sense of thankfulness and calm, knowing they'll come to fruition eventually. This viewpoint pushes us to rethink how we deal with wants and hurdles, suggesting that changing our mindset is the way to achieve our goals. It's about freeing ourselves from our critical thoughts and restrictions and accepting our divine essence and the infinite opportunities that come with it. Thank you for watching today's episode where we tried to explain the concepts taught so wonderfully by Neville in his book At Your Command. Concepts that once understood have changed the lives of millions of people. If you liked it, please don't forget to share this video with others to positively change their lives. Please subscribe if you want to receive notifications whenever we post new videos about Neville Goddard, and give us a like to help grow this channel. Thank you once again, and until the next video, peace in your soul.